no challenge was daunting. For me, I was a doer, an achiever, very determined to tackle anything that came my way. Sometimes the signs and symptoms aren't what you would expect.
I was not remembering things, and they were telling me that I wasn't remembering things normally that I would remember. I had a real lack of concentration. I could not sleep. My sleep, nobody told me I wasn't sleeping, but I knew that I could not sleep more than an hour or two a night.
You tend to see things and question yourself if they're real, or if you're just perceiving them, or there's a level of paranoia maybe. I don't know if that word's too strong, but these are some of the things I felt.
At my very lowest, I have to say that I questioned everything I said and I did. I cried all the time. I could almost not stop crying, which essentially is better than not crying at all. My kids were worried about me. I wasn't eating properly. I had lost a ton of weight.
It was about a year of having that digestive problems, sinus problems, paranoia, obsessiveness about my emails, starting to isolate myself, that I woke up one day and I was ill.
Tough for men to talk about these things and to share, and but as far as what I learned about myself was that it's okay to ask for help. It doesn't define me.
People are afraid that it's going to affect their future. I think they're afraid that it's going to affect their career. I think they'll see that even if it's not in a work environment, that people around them will see them as weak.
To be a senior executive on sick leave, or what we would say stress leave, even I stigmatized it. I self-stigmatized it, and I wanted to avoid that.
People don't want to talk about things when they don't understand, and they don't want to have that label. And as people, unfortunately, we love to label.
So time off work, it was not vacation, and I think a lot of people kind of mix those two things up. You know, that was not vacation. It was purely trying to get my memory back, trying to get my sleep back, trying to eat properly, trying to take care of my absolute basic physical needs.
Very, very cloudy days. I didn't see the sun for a long time. But there was a point where my family said, I'm so glad to have my dad back. And that's what really hit home. And this was, you know, kind of several months into it. But like I said, I had a doctor who helped me. In my core, I know that life is a gift and that, you know, it's meant for joy. Our employer isn't responsible for our well-being, but at the same time, to provide a healthy, positive, safe work environment, they are responsible for.
I am really lucky. I consider it to be one of the greatest benefits of any job ever, is to have good management above you that recognize the value of you as a person, and the value of your mental state as a person, and the value of your strengths and weaknesses.
There is help available, and don't be afraid to speak out and to ask for help. I think that's where people, like myself, asking for help, I saw that as being vulnerable, almost a weakness.
Comment aider un employé qui traverse un moment difficile? Premièrement, je dirais, c'est important que l'employé n'attende pas. La gestion est présente pour les supporter, donc d'en parler à la gestion. Nous avons aussi la chance d'avoir un ombudsman et aussi nous avons des programmes pour les employés qui sont là pour les supporter.
I want people to know that there's other people around who've experienced some of the things that they may experience or have experienced or are experiencing, and that it's okay. It's okay to admit defeat. It's okay to admit that you need help.
It's the self-care management that I learned, I guess. Like you have to manage your finances. You have to manage relationships. You have to manage a marriage. Well, you got to manage self-care, and you have to know when no, that's not the way to go.
And I hope that this story and what we're doing here at Shared Services Canada will send the message that there is hope. Even in your darkest day, when you feel that there is no returning, you will recover.
Ce que je voudrais que les employés retiennent du message, c'est essentiellement 3 choses. 1, soyez à l'écoute de votre environnement et des comportements. 2, traitez vos employés, vos collègues et vos employeurs comme vous voudriez être traités. Et troisièmement, prenez soin de vos employés, de vos collègues, prenez soin de votre carrière, votre emploi, mais surtout, prenez soin de vous.
What I'm most proud of is having recovered from burnout.
We're gratitude, blessed, yes, for sure. You know.
You can wear it.
Okay, wear it with pride. You know, we, with all our challenges in life and work, you know, we're in a, I guess a little off topic, we're in a wonderful country, and we are, you know, I just truly feel blessed.